This is Dennis Black, and here's your sales tip of the week. As we enter March 2020, we enter the third and final phase of the first quarter, in which we discuss the importance of getting off to a fast start. As you look at the final piece to the puzzle, the interaction between sales and operations to provide the best possible customer experience, let's look at some key components that can help not only sales, but operations personnel. When you think of a contact between a borrower, a realtor, any type of customer interaction with a lender, there are two elements. Obviously, the sales initiates the transaction, but the operation is the glue, the lifeblood that helps get the loan through the system to where the borrower realizes they achieved their mortgage, the realtor achieves their commissions, and overall, there's a quality customer experience that gets repeated on a consistent basis moving forward. By working together, sales and operations can make this transaction an item that will be repeated on many times in the borrower's future. To do this experience at the right level, we have to understand the interaction that happens with a customer and operations personnel. It is almost always reactive, meaning that the realtor or the borrower will initiate the contact, and the operations personnel, whether it be a processor, a closer, a funder, a doctor, has to now react to the inquiry that is made by the individual speaking to them. Therefore, the most important skill that we're going to focus on in this session is listening. How we stay focused on the moment and focus on key components to improve our listening technique. The first is to focus immediately on the words that are being said by the speaker to the operations person to get the intent behind the call. There's always a reason. No one randomly calls and says, "Hello, I hope you're having a great day. It's on my file. I understand you need this document. Why do you need it? When do you need it? What method do I have to use to deliver the message to you and get that condition that you have relieved so my loan can go through the system?" Whether it be a loan officer or a customer, action-oriented speaking means they want a result. And the purpose of a good quality communication is to gain resolution behind the purpose of the inquiry. But as we get back to listening, a couple key tips. It is impossible to speak and listen at the same time. Remember, listening is understanding. And therefore, if you're not totally understanding the intent or the message behind the speaker's words, make sure you use a 3-step process. Step 1 is you audibly hear the communication. Step 2, you attempt to interpret the meaning behind the words. And step 3, if you are uncertain, test your understanding with feedback. Clarity is critical in communication. If you don't have clarity, you lead to an assumption, and we know the problems that can create. In addition, as mentioned many times, for salespeople, the ability to take clear, clean notes and give feedback to the client using their own words shows them you are listening. Now, what do I mean by a client? It's a fellow operations person, it's a salesperson, it is a customer outside of your lending office. Anyone who interacts with you is a customer. And what's ironic many times in operations, we think that we do not sell. No, you sell more than any loan officer does on a daily basis. You sell your department, you sell your company, and most importantly, you sell the quality customer experience we're trying to provide to that individual who's engaged with us. So as we look at the first step of quality communication in operations, it focuses on the ability to improve our listening capabilities. One key fact I want to stress before we end this session: stay in the moment. Do not think ahead. Do not think you know where the conversation is going. Understand the reason behind the call and don't react, but understand, and then proactively will go to the next level in communication, the ability to ask the questions to get to the bottom of the reason for the call. This is Dennis Black, and this is your sales tip of the week our first step in operations communication.